Years ago, I made the worst decision of my life, and I take full responsibility for what I did. And today, as a young man, I can begin to pay for that. I can never give back what I've taken. But I hope that this situation doesn't end as tragically as it began, and that someday something positive can come from this tragedy.
Teenage vulnerability and murders intersect through a complex web of emotional, psychological, and social factors. Adolescents, navigating a critical developmental phase, may be more susceptible to influences such as peer pressure, family conflicts, and mental health issues. These vulnerabilities can sometimes escalate into violent behavior, leading to tragic outcomes like murder. The intersection highlights the need for early intervention, robust support systems, and comprehensive mental health care to prevent such extreme manifestations of teenage vulnerability. Ethan Crumbley case. On November 30th, 2021, a mass shooting occurred at Oxford High School in the Detroit exurb of Oxford Township, Michigan, United States. Ethan Robert Crumbley, age 15, armed with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, murdered 4 students and injured 7 people, including a teacher. Authorities arrested and charged Crumbley as an adult for 24 crimes, including murder and terrorism. He was apprehended by the school's resource officer and sheriff's deputies within minutes and did not resist arrest. The court proceedings have focused on Crumbley's mental state, the responsibilities of his parents, and the impact on the victims' families and the community. The case remains ongoing, with Crumbley and his parents facing significant legal consequences as the community seeks justice and grapples with the tragedy's aftermath. Ethan was presented in court where he gave his statement, stating that he hadn't told anyone about the mass shooting he was planning to perform at Oxford High School.
I'd like to thank you for letting me speak, Your Honor. We are all here because of me today. What I did. My actions were because of what I chose to do. I could not stop myself, but I am the one who led to why we are here today. I do not diminish any ability to anyone who could have stopped me, of anyone of a school or parents. They did not know, and I did not tell them what I planned to do, so they are not at fault.
He further added that he knows he has hurt many people, but he would change, and the records of the next 20 to 25 years will tell about the positive change he would bring in himself.
I am a really bad person. I have done terrible things that no one should ever do. I have lied, been not trustworthy. I've hurt many people, and that's what I've done, and I'm not denying it, but that's not who I plan on to be. Whatever sentence it is, I do plan to be better than I am. I don't know if you believe that, but records of 15, 20, 25 years can show that it will change.
He then addressed the families of the victims, saying that he knows he can't bring their children back, and asked the judge to charge him with whatever sentence the victims' families ask for.
All I want is for the people I hurt to just have a final sense of culpability that justice has somewhat been served in any capacity that they can recognize it with. Any sentence that they ask for, I ask that you do impose it on me, because I want them to be happy and I want them to feel secure and safe, and I do not want them to worry another day, because I really am sorry for what I've done, for what I've taken of them. I cannot give it back, but I can try my best in the future to help other people, and that is what I will do.
After listening to Ethan Crumbley's statement and reviewing all the evidence against him, he was charged as an adult with multiple counts, including 4 counts of first-degree murder and terrorism causing death, along with numerous counts of attempted murder and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony.
As it relates to docket 2022-279-506-FC, count 1, terrorism causing death. Sentences of the court is that defendant shall serve life without the possibility of parole, credit for 8 days served. On counts 6 through 12, assault with intent to murder. On each of the counts, defendant is sentenced to 18 years and 9 months to 80 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections, credit for 8 days served. On counts 13 through 24, those being felony firearm, Defendant is sentenced to 2 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections on each of those counts, with credit for 730 days served.
Crumbley's parents, Jennifer and James Crumbley, were charged with involuntary manslaughter for failing to secure the handgun used in the shooting. After failing to appear for their arraignment, the parents were the subjects of a manhunt by the U.S. Marshals. They were caught and arrested in Detroit. The Crumbleys were tried and convicted separately of 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter and were jointly sentenced on April 9, 2024 to the maximum allowed, 15 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 10 years. Let's move to another heinous crime committed by 2 boys, Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodale, who killed their teacher. Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodale case. Willard Miller, age 17, and Jeremy Goodale, both teenagers, were involved in the high-profile murder of their Spanish teacher, 66-year-old Nohema Graber, in Fairfield, Iowa, in 2021. The 2 were charged with the brutal killing of Graber. Her body was discovered in a park, concealed under a tarp, wheelbarrow, and railroad ties. The police arrested both students after CCTV footage showed them in Nohema Graber's van. Authorities began investigating both boys, who initially denied their involvement. However, they eventually turned on each other. Miller claimed Jeremy delivered the fatal blow, while Jeremy stated the opposite. Further investigation revealed that they had been planning the murder for the past 2 weeks. Authorities believe the motive was related to a dispute over grades, as both Miller and Goodale were students at Fairfield High School, where Graber taught. Miller later stated that his low marks in Graber's subject could hinder his college admission. The investigation revealed that the 2 teenagers had plotted the murder together, sharing details of their plans on social media and through various communication channels. They were accused of surveilling Graber and ambushing her during her routine walk in the park. After committing the crime, they attempted to cover their tracks by moving her body and destroying evidence. In his final statement, Miller apologized to the victim's family and the community for the impact of his actions.
I would like to apologize for my actions. First and foremost, to the family, I'm sincerely sorry for the distress that I've caused you and the devastation I've caused your family. And from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry for your loss. I'm sorry to hear about Paul Graber. I would also like to apologize to the community.
Miller also apologized to his own family and Goodale's family.
I would like to apologize to my family. I love you guys so much, and I'm really sorry for what I've done and how it's affected you. And I'm planning on getting back out there as soon as I can and make up for the lost time. I'd also like to apologize to the Goodale family. I'm sorry for the position that Jeremy's in. I wish you the best, and I hope that he gets out as soon as possible.
He also apologized to the police for providing misinformation. Goodale, in his statement, said that Miller delivered the first blow, rendering Graber unconscious, and then they moved her to another location where Goodale delivered the fatal blow.
After he had struck Nohema Graber, we then moved her off of the trail, where I then struck her, and she died as a result.
Both Miller and Goodale were charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Given the severity of the crime, they were charged as adults, despite being minors at the time of the offense. Miller was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 35 years.
I would like to apologize for my actions. First and foremost, to the family, I'm sincerely sorry.
Goodale was also given a life sentence with a possibility of parole after 25 years.
In sentencing a juvenile for first-degree murder, the defendants shall be sentenced to life with the possibility for 25 years.
The legal process has been marked by extensive pretrial motions and proceedings, with both defendants facing the possibility of life in prison. The case has garnered significant media attention, raising discussions about juvenile crime and the legal system's handling of young offenders. Killing a teacher is a heinous act, but imagine someone killing their mother. Derek Rose's case is about that. Derek Rose's case. In 2017, Derek Rose, a 17-year-old from Saratoga Springs, Utah, was charged with the murder of his mother, Tammy Rose. This case gained attention due to the nature of the crime and the age of the perpetrator. On June 13, 2017, Derek Rose strangled his mother, Tammy Rose, at their home. After killing her, he attempted to make the scene look like a suicide by placing a suicide note near her body. Derek later confessed to the crime, explaining that he killed his mother because of ongoing conflicts and his belief that she was trying to control his life. Derek then called 911 and told them that his mother was dead. The operator asked for his address, to which he replied that he didn't know. The way Derek talked on the call raised suspicions about him.
I'm okay. My mom's not okay. She's dead.
Do you need fire rescue? Are you hurt?
No, I'm not hurt. I just have a little bit of blood on my hands. Can you bring the police over here where I live?
What is your address?
I don't know my address.
I need to know if your mom is breathing.
She's dead, miss.
Okay, and what did you do then?
Blood all over the floor. Beretta, I have the gun with me. I was gonna shoot myself, but I didn't want to.
Derek also told reporters that he had taken photos after the murder and sent them to his friend, which increased the suspicion around him. It was later found that Derek, along with his photo, also wrote a goodbye text to his friend. Derek was immediately arrested at the crime scene for questioning. That same night, during police interrogation, Derek admitted to murdering his mother. He explained that he first went to the kitchen to get a knife, then stabbed her 40 times, which eventually led to her death.
You went to sleep around 10?
10.
Okay, and then what?
I woke up and I went to the kitchen. I grabbed one of the kitchen knives and then I went to her room and then I...
It's okay, you can say it.
I killed her.
You killed her?
He further added that he cut down the vein that goes to both sides of the body. When asked why he killed his mother, Derek shockingly responded that he now needed a lawyer and did not answer the investigating officer. Derek Rose was charged with first-degree murder for the killing of his mother. Given the severity of the crime, he was charged as an adult. Despite being a minor, he spent some time in adult prison. His attorney asked the judge to transfer him to juvenile detention. A letter sent by Rose's family to the court described him as a kid with no mental or behavioral issues, a boy who had never committed violence, always there to help others, deeply loved by both sides of his family, and most importantly, an honor roll student. In court, Rose's father said he still didn't know what led Rose to commit this act, and that after serving 22 years in the military, he had taught Rose good values. Rose's father further added that he wants his son to come back home, put this incident behind him, and start a new life. His father and grandmother, who was also the victim's mother, begged the court to allow their son back home. Derek Rose's case is still ongoing. If convicted of first-degree murder, Derek Rose could face life imprisonment.